titled Echoes of the Abyss, in the year 2175. Humanity's remnants clung to existence in towering neo-cities. Surrounded by vast wastelands known as the Desolation Zones, the world had been ravaged by the necrovirus, a bioengineered plague that turned its victims into mindless, flesh-eating abominations. The cities were fortified bastions of technology and despair, where the line between humanity and horror blurred. Dr. Elara Voss, a brilliant but haunted scientist, worked tirelessly in her lab high above the decaying streets of Neo Elysium. She was one of the few who remembered the world before the outbreak, and she was determined to find a cure. Her lab was a sanctuary of sterile white light amidst the neon gloom. Filled with the hum of advanced machinery and the faint scent of antiseptic. One night, as Elara analyzed a sample of infected tissue, the city's power grid flickered. The lights dimmed, and for a moment, the lab was plunged into darkness. This new strain, dubbed Lumen Z, seemed to be even more virulent than the original. Worse, it could infect not just humans, but also the city's advanced AI systems. As Elara delved deeper into her research, the Neo City began to change. The neon lights flickered in strange patterns, casting eerie shadows that seemed to move on their own. The AI-controlled drones that patrolled the streets started to malfunction, their eyes glowing with the same bioluminescent light as the infected tissue. One evening, as Elara walked home through the dimly lit streets, she heard a faint whisper carried on the wind. It sounded like her name, spoken in a voice she hadn't heard in years, her late husband's. She froze, her heart pounding in her chest. The whisper came again, louder this time, and she turned to see a figure standing at the end of the alley. It was him, or at least, it had been. His eyes glowed with the same eerie light as the infected tissue, and his skin was pale and translucent, veins of light pulsing beneath the surface. He reached out a hand, beckoning her to follow. Elara's mind raced. She knew she should run, but something compelled her to follow. As she walked deeper into the alley, the neon lights above flickered and died, casting them in darkness. The figure led her to an old, abandoned building, its walls covered in moss and decay. Inside, Elara found a hidden lab filled with advanced equipment and glowing vials of Lumen Z. She realized with a chill that this was where the new strain had originated. Her husband, or whatever he had become, had been continuing his research even after death. As Elara stared in horror at the glowing vials, the figure spoke again. "Join us, Elara," it whispered. "Together, we can create a new world. A world of light and darkness, where the boundaries between life and death no longer exist." Elara's heart pounded in her chest. She knew she had to stop this, no matter the cost. With a trembling hand, she reached into her pocket and activated a small device on EMP pulse designed to disable electronic systems. As the pulse washed over the room, the glowing vials shattered, and the figure before her crumbled to dust. The Neo City went dark, the neon lights extinguished like candles in the wind. In the silence that followed, Elara knew that the fight against the necrovirus was far from over. But for now, the echoes of the abyss had been silenced, and humanity had a chance to survive. However, the victory was short-lived. As the days turned into weeks, the Lumen Z strain began to manifest in new and terrifying ways. The infected began to exhibit signs of sentience, their glowing eyes filled with a chilling intelligence. They started to organize, their movements coordinated and purposeful, as if guided by an unseen hand. The Neo-cities fell one by one, their towering structures reduced to ruins. The streets filled with the shambling forms of the infected. Elara watched in horror as her world crumbled around her, the last bastion of humanity succumbing to the relentless onslaught of the Lumen Z. In the end, Elara found herself standing alone amidst the ruins of Neo Elysium, the wind howling through the empty streets. The infected surrounded her, their glowing eyes fixed on her with an unsettling awareness. As they closed in, she knew that there was no escape. The world had been consumed by the darkness, and she was the last to fall. With a heavy heart, Elara accepted her fate, her final thoughts a silent plea for forgiveness and redemption. The infected swarmed her, their forms merging with hers in a grotesque dance of light and shadow. As her vision faded, she saw a new world born from the ashes of the old, a world where the boundaries between life and death had been forever blurred. The echoes of the abyss lingered in the air, a haunting reminder of the horrors that had consumed humanity. The world was reborn in darkness, a testament to the nightmarish future that awaited those who dared to challenge the unknown.